to April's newsletter. Today we are going to talk about ways to make ourselves feel calm during everything that's going on. As I'm recording this, we're in the midst of COVID-19, and I want to give you some practical things that you can do. We have been asking for more time. We've been asking for years for more time. Now we have more time. Let's make better use of it. Let's make sure that we are being productive and we're not sitting in front of media all day long. So my tip to you, number one, is to unplug. If we surround ourselves with panic, we are going to feel panic. So if we are watching all of the social media, then we are going to absorb that energy. So let's unplug. Let's get rid of our devices. Get out and move. So number one, unplug. Don't surround yourself with panic. So let's go ahead and unplug as much as possible. Delete those friends that are talking negatively about COVID-19. Unfriend them, unfollow them for a little while until this passes. Doesn't mean that you can't be friends with them. It just means you don't need to see that negativity or the bad stuff about what's going on in this world. Let's surround ourselves with positivity. Number two, we cannot be in the sympathetic and the parasympathetic at the same time. That is, your sympathetic is more of the red zone, the fight or flight as I call it, and the parasympathetic is the green zone, the calm state. So what I am going to propose to you, when you feel yourself over inundated, overwhelmed with panic, with fear, not knowing what's going on, I'm going to encourage you to breathe. When we breathe, especially the exhalation of your breathing, we actually massage the vagus nerve, which is right here behind our diaphragm. When we exhale longer than we inhale, it massages your vagus nerve, and your vagus nerve is the one that's responsible for your parasympathetic, your green zone, your calm state. You can't be in both at the same time. So if we just focus on our breathing, you can do that anywhere. You can do it while you're at work. If those of you that are still working, you can do it there. You can do it with your kids when they're around. You can do it out in public. No one is going to know that you're doing it. Just note that when you exhale longer than you inhale, because that diaphragm definitely massages that vagus nerve. So make sure that you are putting yourself in that parasympathetic as much as possible. I'm going to suggest walking. Get out and move. You can walk around your house if you don't have a space to go to, because they're asking us not to congregate and not to stay in little tiny groups. So walk around your house, walk around your neighborhood. I'm going to suggest you do 10,000 steps a day. 10,000 steps a day, and that is on top of the workout that you're already doing, the cardio that you're already doing. We are now being forced to stay in, so now we are sitting more than ever. If you work from home and you're at a stand-up desk, that is still stationary because you're not moving and contracting your muscles. So I'm going to suggest go for a walk. Get your 10,000 steps in. If you don't have a smartwatch, then you can use your cell phone. There are apps on there that you can download that are for pedometers, and you can keep track of your steps throughout the day, for every day. So I'm going to suggest doing 10,000 steps on top of your normal requirement that you do for exercising already. If you already work out in the morning, I'm going to ask you to put another 10,000 steps on that. If you don't have the luxury throughout the day to go for walks, I am going to suggest movements. You can do simple body movements throughout the day. It doesn't have to be all at once. Studies show that if you do it throughout the day, multiple times, you have better outcomes as far as musculature-wise, energy levels, fat loss, weight loss, that kind of thing. So pick something. Let's say Mondays are going to be squats. So do air squats. Just sit there and pick a number. Let's say if you're new to this, pick 25. And then once you hit 25 and you do that multiple times a day, the next week add 5 more. So then the next Monday you do 30. I do 25. You pick the number. I always say if you can reach 100, then you're going to have to up it and make it harder. Get some exercise bands to do those squats with, or get some weights or something that is heavy. Use a child, use an animal, and do your squats with. But the idea is to do movements throughout the day and get to 100. So start at 20, work your way up to 100 throughout the day, and at the end of the day, that movement should total 100. And I'm going to ask you guys to make sure that you get plenty of rest. So if we do all of this stuff, it's going to reduce our stress. Stress is a huge immune support suppressor, excuse me. So you want to make sure that you have a strong immune system. You can eat as healthy as you want, work out as much as you can, but if you're not taking care of the stressors, your immune system is still compromised. So stress is immune suppressor. We want to make your immune system strong. So let's make sure we get plenty of sleep. 8 to 9 hours, I would say right now in this high time of stress, I would say more like 9 to 10 hours if you can. So that is my tips for all of you guys to stay within your zone of comfort. Make sure that you are unplugging and you're not getting stressed out. Make sure that you add movement. Get your 10,000 steps in, and make sure that you do 100 of something every day throughout the day, not all at once. Because the idea is to make sure you're moving throughout the day, not moving one time and then you're stationary the rest of the day. That's still considered sedentary, and we want you to move throughout the day. All right, guys, have a great April.